Welcome to St John's for our weekly update. As you can see from the beautiful patterns on the stonework today, we've reached that time of the year where the sun, as it continues its migration north, begins to paint beautiful pictures on our stonework. I'm often in awe of John Loughborough Pearson, the architect of this building. He never visited the site and yet had some sense of how to play with light. The only other person who I think has done such a spectacular job with light is the architect Gaudi in Spain and his absolute marvel in Barcelona. As the year marches on, it means we're approaching Lent, that wonderful time when we're invited to reflect deeply on the call that God places on our lives through baptism, the call to be a transforming presence in the world, a call to exercise love in a world that often dabbles in hate and division. The Cathedral Lenten brochure is out, and there are copies on the website as well as physical copies here in the cathedral. And I commend to you the incredible number of studies, reflection groups and reading material that is available for this wonderful season. As we prepare for Ash Wednesday, on Sunday we will be burning our palm crosses, that very powerful act of taking the old, burning it, transforming it into something different in the form of ash, and then receiving it back as a sign that all things can be made new. And of course we're anticipating receiving our new palm crosses on Palm Sunday. Then on Wednesday, of course, we have Ash Wednesday, plenty of opportunities to attend the cathedral and to receive the gift of ashes and the call to ongoing conversion. On Wednesday, the first of our study groups also commences, God's story, our story, a wonderful opportunity to reflect deeply on how our faith and life intersects. So I commend to you the Lenten program. There's lots for us to do. If you're not used to doing something outside of worship, this is the great opportunity to find yourself doing something else, meeting people in beautiful ways that allows us to build community more deeply and to support one another. Because after all, we're still in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic, and the gift of community is something that's very precious in this time. Before we get to Ash Wednesday, we have Shrove Tuesday. It's Pancake Day, Fat Tuesday as they call it in Russia. It's the day when in Russia they eat themselves silly as they empty their pantries, and I'm told quite a number of people die. It's an interesting way to approach the faith, but we'll be more modest in our consumption of pancakes, I think. But if you'd like to join us for pancakes on Tuesday morning, please do so. It would be a delight to have you in the cathedral for that activity. It's also one of the ways in which the cathedral staff and community reach out to those who work on the cathedral precinct. So we'll take the opportunity in Lent to increase the number of weekday services we're offering. So on Fridays, Friday being a particular day of focus in Lent, on Fridays we'll have the 7 a.m. Eucharist, which we've been having for some time now. That will be accompanied by wine before breakfast. It's wonderful to see that returning to the life of the cathedral. So Blair will be offering reflection as part of the 7 a.m. Eucharist, and that will be followed by breakfast together. Then we'll be offering the 12:30 Eucharist as well, and that will be followed by Stations of the Cross. If you've not walked the stations before, you might like to find yourself in the cathedral one Friday during Lent, or we'll also be doing stations and offering a daily Eucharist every day in Holy Week. It's a wonderful, short, meditative exercise, and because we're also moving, it reminds us that life is a pilgrimage, and that as we move through life we encounter many and varied experiences. Some are an absolute delight, and some are intimate and beautiful, others are tragic, and yet the faith invites us to find how God is present in all of those and how we can support one another as we move through life and its complexity. There are a few other things happening in the life of the cathedral. One is that we're developing something like a community notice board. Many people have asked how they might become more involved in the life of the cathedral and the cathedral building and the cathedral precinct. And so we're developing a number of things that people can sign up to so that they can support the community and be involved with the community. And we don't just have to study together to build relationships. We can garden together and do other things as ways of increasing that sense of being bound to one another. One of the opportunities that does come at this time is the Ministry of Cows. As you would be aware, Terry Albone is far from well, and we continue to pray for Terry and for Rod. But their ministry in cows was one of the things that held it together, and so there's an opportunity for other people to be involved in that incredible ministry of hospitality. So if you'd like to find out more, please be in touch. It's a really wonderful way to connect with others and to be the human face of welcome to the cathedral. On the 11th of March coming up, we're going to be part of the Day of Action by Faith communities across the world. It's a call for governments to do more to care for the planet. So it's not just about climate change, it's actually about how we care for the planetary system on which we depend and in which God delights. That's one of our starting points, is that the creation is absolutely beautiful and a gift, and God delights in it. So we're inviting governments to delight in the creation and to create policies that will help us to look after it better. As part of leading up to the 11th of March, there is a statement that anyone can sign. It's called Sacred People, Sacred Earth, and it contains a number of very practical calls that governments could enact to enable us to care for the planet. You'll find a link to Sacred People, Sacred Earth on the Cathedral website, as well as details of the service that will be held in March. And you might like to consider signing that statement. On the 11th of March, the statement will be released with all its signatories, and we hope to show the world that people of faith care deeply about this beautiful planet. In just a couple of weeks' time, we will spend time together on Saturday, the 27th of February, having our Visioning Day. It's an opportunity for us to bring with us any ideas that we have to enhance the life of the cathedral community. This year we have added a couple of particular focuses, that is how the cathedral will be involved in looking after the climate and the world, how we will be involved in the future of marriage. But the third tier of the Visioning Day is how we will embrace what's emerging out of COVID-19. So that provides the opportunity for us to raise any issue that we think would be of benefit for the cathedral community to reflect on. So I invite you to register to come along. It's a great day again, once again, to spend time with people so that we enhance the gift of community. It's also an opportunity for us together to craft how we as a community will work in the coming year. In terms of birthdays for the week, we say happy birthday to Desley McConnell, Nanda Rochelle, to Richard Mason and to Nita Martin, who I think is having one of those big celebrations. So happy birthday to you all. If you're coming to worship on Sunday, do remember to bring with you your palm cross if you haven't had an opportunity to bring it in already, and it can be added to the pile that will be committed to the flames and turned into the ash that we will receive on Ash Wednesday. Thank you for all you do for us. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the messages. We get messages from all over the world thanking us for our online worship, and so it's wonderful to be able to offer that ministry to parts of the world where people cannot gather. We are incredibly lucky in this part of the world. We've had such good leadership, people who've listened to the science, and the fruits speak for themselves. So thank you for all that you do for the community as well. Peace be with you.